See you on the other side. And we're live. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. First person in chat. Congratulations. You got a cookie. Hey, Alex, can you give me or write the checklist on the chart on which do you trade? What do you mean by this, brother? You mean just like a checklist walkthrough? Is that what you're referring to? Yes, cookies. Drew. Hey, Drew. Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing? Good, 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 good. Good, I hope. Let me just quickly go over to here, repost that. Good, I hope. There we go. Ba-ba-ba. Sweet. Yes, bro. Checklist walkthrough. I mean your strategy slash model. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can walk you through that. We're actually not in a bad spot here. Yo, what's up, BF? BF, BF fam. How are you? B fam 8609. Vishal underscore 9919 dash K7 Y. Yeah, I'll walk you through that in a sec. Just give me 1 second. Let me take a look at price action right now. Cause because I do like what I'm seeing here actually. So we had a sweep. Good, bro. Oh, it's good to hear, man. So we do have a 4 hour swing, but it's formed to both sides. So as you can see here, this 10 a.m. candle swept out both the high, the low. And by the way, if you are watching on X, I see that we do have a couple of viewers on X. If you guys are watching on X, head over to youtube.com/at thelab.live. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, because I can't see your comments on X. I can only see them if you're watching on YouTube. Yo, what's up, Sports Connect? How are you guys? So we had a sweep of the previous 4 hour low here, came back down price, and now we're seeing kind of closures back above this 660 candle, which I am kind of a big fan of. You guys know me. I like those retraces into discount, and as you can see, had a beautiful retrace back into discount at the 641s. I wouldn't be opposed to something like this. The only thing is my stop would be so huge. Um, but we did get a really nice retrace back there into discount. We swept out those lows. Funny enough, OB, continuation OB here from previous days, lunch session. Nice little reaccumulation there. Let me see something. Yeah, previous days, point of control, sweep the previous 4 hour low. You're now starting to see closures above on the 15-minute chart. I would not be opposed to seeing something like this. What I would like to see, however, though, is a nice little retrace back down so I can get a better, had a terrific day, break even on shorts, missed my long limit order. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, everybody. How many of you took a trade this morning? Type one if you took a trade this morning, type two if you did not, or type three if, yeah, no, no, no. Just type one if you did, type two if you didn't. I'm kind of curious. Let me run this quick poll here. One, not just over. One, Dylan, Milletman, Sports Connect, two trades. How'd those two trades go? Today had all the break-even trades. Man, how are you guys feeling about the price action now that I feel like it's kind of changed a little bit. How are you guys feeling about it? I feel like there's been a slight change. I think the moves are actually able to finish a bit quicker. Um, but yeah, PA much better when NQ and ES are aligned. It's a little good though. Slow grind. One through 10 if you guys had to rate it though. 1 through 10. 6. Gold moves well just anytime at the moment. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna look for, actually, gentlemen. I'm gonna hop over to this 15-second chart, and then what I'm gonna look for is actually a retrace back down into at least the 638s, or at least get a tap at the 652s, and then I'm gonna look for longs from there, actually. So let me open. What's up, Alex? Yeah, yeah, rate it. If you guys had to rate it 1 out of 10, what would you guys rate it at? The current price action. Compared to do you guys remember the beginning of April? Do you guys remember the beginning of April price action? Or the end? I guess it would be easier to remember the end of April. If you had to compare the end of April price action to the current beginning of May price action, how would you guys like what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Can you guys see my time frame by the way? Just fine, just making sure. Hey Pookie 5. Quick question. In a FEG, I usually get stopped out and then I see it going into my direction. How do I validate an FEG? I would say only take the ones that are in discount or premium. Like in this particular example. In this particular example, just to give you an idea, right? Like we have a fair value gap here, we have a fair value gap here, we have a fair value gap here. In my eyes, it's better to always take the one at a discounted price point. So you can see that from this high to this low, we have a range, right? You anchor that there. Price is starting to reject. You've made kind of like a short-term high. So the idea is that you've now established a premium and discount. And so you want to be ideally only taking the ones at a discounted rate. In this particular example, I wouldn't mind grabbing some longs from around there into the highs. So probably set my limits. 007, you make it look too easy. Did I take a trade this morning? I did. I did take a trade this morning. Let me walk you guys through that trade. Well, I took 2 trades. Don't let me lie to you. I'm a little bit of a liar there. Don't let me take 2 trades. Uh, I took 2 trades. Sorry. Jesus, my brain is scrambled. I took a loss and then I took a winning trade this morning. They were both in the same direction, actually. They were both in the same exact direction. And I took these on my Tradeify. I'm still working on the TPT accounts, I think there are. Um, but yeah, Tradeify and TPT, those are the two that I'm currently using. Tradeify actually currently 40% off, and TPT is also 40% off. So if you guys want to head over and claim that 40% off, you can. Just hit the link down below or the link in the comments or use code LAB when checking out. And make sure to obviously create an account at profirm.compare. But um, yo, done for the day here for the vibes. I appreciate it. If you guys like the vibes, just make sure to drop a like. Um, uh, yeah, this morning. Okay. I'm gonna do the same exact thing that I did last time, actually, which was kind of like a fun little thing that we did. And you guys are gonna tell me where my entry was. All right. I won't give you too much information. Let me actually come back a little bit more so I can zoom in. I'm gonna mark out 3 red lines. Out of these 3 red lines, I'm gonna ask you guys what you think my entry was. So that's number one, that's number two, and that's number three. Hello, Fernando. Okay. So let me actually mark these out. So that's entry number one, right? Hypothetical entry number one, hypothetical entry number two, and then hypothetical entry number three. So which one of these do you guys think my entry was in? B fam 8609 says three. And then after we obviously select or whatever, I'll walk you guys through it. Yeah, BFM says three. Orange fan 44 says three. Three looks good for a double confirmation. Drew says three. Okay. Anybody else? Any other takers? Three looks good. Fernando, how are you, man? Hope everything's good. Okay. Wait, actually, did that change to three? Yeah, I did there. Fisher says two. Okay. So, drum roll. I actually took an entry on number two. Three is as good as we have C2 as well. I actually took an entry on number two. Number two was my entry, and I will explain to you guys why in just a sec. So don't get me wrong, there's no right or wrong here. Like there's no right or wrong. I'm just trying to share with you guys what you think my entry would have been based on like what you know about me and my trading style. My entry was actually number two, and I'll explain to you guys why now. So if you head over to, let me actually, let me actually run this back a little bit, rewind. I took this on a 30 and a 15-second chart, and there was a couple things that really piqued me here. First and foremost was the fact that we had yet to have taken this high out. Whenever I head over to a chart, I'm looking at the daily, I'm looking at the hourly. And at that particular point in time, we had yet to take out this high, which means that it served as my drawn liquidity. I wanted higher prices at that time in the morning. Secondly, secondly, what can you guys tell me about this candle here, this 9 a.m. candle? What's interesting about this candle? Like, what interactions has this candle had with other ones that would make me interested in longs? Liquidity grab, yeah. We're at previous candle. I think there is an SMT there too. Well, let's check. Indecision. Let's check. There should be an actually. Was there a divergence? Yeah, there was also a divergence. So you had a divergence, you had a sweep of the previous hourly low. And you guys know what I like doing after a sweep of the previous hourly low, right? I like dropping down to a 15 or a 5. What did we have here on the 15 as well? This was just a beaut, absolute beaut. We also had a sweep of the previous 15-minute low. So whenever you have a confluence of sweeps on multiple time frames, these are the things that I look for the most. If we have a sweep of the previous hourly low and a sweep of the previous 15-minute low, and then I can head over to a 5 or a 1 minute chart and look for that shift, then that's when things start getting really interesting, right? So here I have both of my sweeps. I'm gonna make them red so you guys can see that. Here we have both of our sweeps, which means that what? If this is a sweep, there needs to be, if this is a sweep right there, if that's a sweep, you guys see how that candle comes in? You guys see how this candle comes in? Boom. That candle. You see how this candle pierced both of these levels? What do I mean by pierced is like kind of transversed. Like it just like it priced beyond both of these. You guys see how that candle came in? I'm sorry, I know it sounds repetitive, but stick with me. And right, boom, right there. So this is actually, at this point in time, it is actually now the order block candidate. What does that mean? It means that this is the candlestick that I'm going to be looking for to frame an idea of order block. We have it here, which means what? It now means that in order for me to confirm this order block, I need to see a closure either above the opening price. I can see it above the open, which is a premature confirmation, or I can see it above the high, which in because this is obviously a down close candle and I'm looking for bullish price action, so I need to see a closure above the high. So as price moves, get through a couple clicks here. Boom, right there at that 950 candle. What did we get? You guys see how price closed above? You see how this 950 1 minute candle closed above the 945 candle? Closed above its opening price, closed above its high. Yeah, right? So now this becomes the order block. So now I've confirmed my price action or my order block. So now I can outline this entire order block. And now what does this mean? It means that I want this low to stay intact. This low needs to stay intact. Now, you guys know I operate on very, very low time frames. I do like the 15-second. So what do I do here? I head over to a 15-second chart. Why just that one? Why not all the bearish ones? Because if I go back and I show you all the bearish ones right here, this one, did this candle touch the 720 and the 716 price points? Just the last two? Okay. That one, and I'm assuming that one. Did this 944 candle touch? Did this 944 candle touch the 721 price action or the 717 price action or price level? Sorry. Did it touch? It's a yes or no question. Ain't both orders to push it back? No. So the reason why I only consider this one is because this is the only candle that had orders exchanged between these two price levels. The only thing that I'm interested in, what if it slammed back down? What do you mean? Like, got you. What do you mean? If it slammed back down? Kind of walk me through that. Oh, I see you got you. Yeah. Because I'm looking for this candle or the singular candle to exchange orders at this particular price point. Anything other than that, I have no business and no interest in knowing about, which means that this candle is insignificant to me. This one, this one, this one. Obviously, if you trade breakers, then you can use that as your breaker. That's completely fine, but that's a different model and that's not mine. The next candle closed below post that. If, fam, if the next candle closed below this one, the 945, then I might be incorrect on my bias or my validation, which is why I use, which is exactly why I need to see a closure above this candle's high to confirm it, right? Because hypothetically, if oh yeah, this other candle just keep going lower, I didn't get my confirmation, which means I'm not taking an entry, right? Which is exactly why we need the confirmation and closure above this candle's high. Now, what happens here? This is when I drop down to a really low time frame, and some of you, this is enough to take a trade, in my opinion. This is enough to take a trade. This is enough for an order block to be confirmed. And then what do you look for? You look to target the highs. Because if you let this play, this played out beautifully, right? But what I like to do is I like to be a little bit more precise because I'm a person that doesn't like to be in too much drawdown. I don't, obviously, I know a lot of people don't like being in drawdown, but I'm a person that I found that throughout time, like I get really, it's like uncomfortable. I want to know right then and right now, like if I'm wrong or if I'm right. I don't want to be in a trade for too long. That's the type of personality that I have. So over time, I obviously developed uh, that kind of strategy. Do you look at order books, TPO, or order flow charts for that, or just PA? It's just PA. I have used Bookmap before. I do know what it kind of like in my head. I can kind of envision what that looks like. I can kind of envision the scenario of what that looks like. But right now, like I don't use any of that. This is just purely price action. Um, but anyways, what I like to do is I like to head over towards a lower time frame chart after the candle confirmation is complete. So on that close. And what I like to do is obviously you guys know me, I like being on the 15-second chart. And what I do here is I can grab this low, I can grab this high, and I'm going to look to enter off of the discounted price point of this newly completed price leg after the confirmation of the order block. So once we have the order block confirmed, I head over to a 15-second chart or a 5-second chart even. When it's a 1 minute or a 5 minute order block, I head to a 15 or a 5-second chart, and then I plot from the low to the high. That's my premium, that's my discount. And then let me see if I have a premium and discount. Do I not? Where's the, hold on, bear with me. Gap box. There we go. You've got your premium and you've got, well, I've got it the way around, wrong way. You've got your premium and you've got your discount. And now I'm going to look to or enter off of a discounted price point. So here on this 5-second chart, we actually managed to get a closure back above this candle's high at 951.55. And that was pretty much my entry trigger on the 5-second chart with my stop near the 715 low. And then I closed out at around 782, I think. Let me check my executions. So I closed out, yeah, at 782. So this was my trade. This was my trade this morning. Anyways, let's take a look at current price action. Um, there could be something here. I do like it. Not gonna lie, scalping it at its best. Yeah, it's the one I like the most. So I'm applying that same logic. You guys know, like let's everything that I just walked you through, let's walk through it once more. So previous previous hour low taken here, internal level tapped in. Let me actually draw this entire low, or actually I like the reaccumulation more. Reaccumulation here. Now you might be asking, oh, but why is that reaccumulation? Why is that da, 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 da? Because this is what led us into this internal level. Typically reaccumulate at this candle's high from a higher time frame perspective, but more importantly, because you do have this imbalance here that you actually managed to close above. So this is the hourly chart, right? You drop down to a 5 minute chart, and then I ask you guys, hey, was there a group or was there a particular candle that pretty much pierced both of these levels in its entirety? And there is just one outlier that really, really does stand out, and it's this one, this candle. Did we manage to close above it? No, we did not. So that tells me that there's might not be a willingness to go higher. Did we manage to close above its high? We did not. But did we manage to close below its opening price? We did. So that could be potentially an early signal, right? So this could already potentially be our order block because we got a closure above its opening price. But now what am I going to do? You guys know me. I'm going to head over to a lower time frame chart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot the low, I'm going to plot the premium and the discount. So for a high probability, it has to close above the wick as well. Yes. What am I going to do? I'm going to look to exactly the same process that we're following on that previous one. I'm going to look to where the hell is the gone box? Guys, why am I losing? I'm losing my head. I'm going to plot that. Whoops. One sec. Bear with me. Premium and discount. After that's confirmed, which means that I want to see a trade, which means that I want to see a trade into the 637s and then a bullish expansion into the highs. Because now I've confirmed my 5 minute order block or semi-confirmed my 5 minute order block. I'm on the 15-second chart. I can then look for a quick CISD or whatever you want to call it, a bullish reaction out of the discounted price point. So let's see if we can, let's see if this wants to tap back into discount or if we get a closure above the 669s, then I might look to long that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wrong account. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry. So here we did get a closure, 658, and this might actually be worth trying. Why? Because you could potentially have a divergence here with ES at a discounted price point. So let's take a look at ES. Let's see if ES actually tapped into its discounted price point from this low to that high. So ES actually did in fact tap back into its discounted price point. So we have a divergence there, which means that there's could be potentially something in play, but I still haven't been able to log into my accounts. Just give me 1 second. What was it? Am I losing my head? Don't go. Don't go without me. So this looks good actually for some longs. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to log in. Oh, this might escape us actually. Okay. I'm in queue. I don't mind this. I don't mind this at all, but I'm a little too late on my entry. I wasn't able to sign in into my accounts and take this. But I think this will play. I think you will get that expansion into the 721s, where you could potentially see some rejection is from the 630, 693s. So for example, right there, you won't take it even if it gives because it is in premium. Um, if I just checked for ES, ES actually has a discount and it tapped into its discount. So I would actually look to play this, but only because of the divergence. If they were both in premium, then I wouldn't look to play it. I would only look to play it if we managed to get a tap back into discount. But so yeah, I think you should be good. Um, I think an area of resistance would actually be the 693s, but you can easily just trail your stop to the 693s or above um, if you did actually manage to get some of this. But this was actually kind of like a really good example of why I like to drop down to these lower time frames, anchor after my confirmation from the low to the high, my premium, my discount, and then enter off of a discounted price point. You think it's best to practice watching 15-second, 30-second, or 45-second time frames for price action? Is it better to see it in 1 minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute or higher time frames maybe? I think the reason why I like the second time frame so much is because you actually do get a much more like you do get more practice. Um, So you start actually really watching closely. I think 5 second is too low for the average person. I'm not saying I'm like subhuman or whatever the fuck, or not subhuman. That's the opposite. Supernatural human or whatever. Um, but I think the 30 second is a really good place to start. Subhuman. I think the 30 second is a really good place to start. And trust me, like you don't want to be doing this on TradingView. You want it, ideally, you want to be doing this on Trade NinjaTrader, Sierra Charts, Thinkorswim, anything that you think will give you the quickest price action print on a candle. Because if I were to put up Trade data next to this TradingView candle that you're seeing here, you guys will see that there's a huge, enormous discrepancy between the data feeds. And when you're taking 30 second or 15 second trades, you want to see as the information as quickly as possible because you're trying to process it constantly. We'll see. If this comes back down to me, I will also consider another entry. I wouldn't mind that. No, I mean on Trade itself. Because when you log in through a, let's say, Trade platform via TradingView, there are now three layers where the data needs to be processed and sent over. Whereas opposed to if you do it directly on Trade, it'll just be two, which means that you get the data slightly quicker, and which is why you notice the discrepancy in the candles. If you guys go out and do this yourselves, like don't take my word for it, plot TradingView, plot Trade, and watch how quicker the data is on Trade. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I want to see us tag back into 659s. I might consider taking this on some micros. Actually, I will. I've got my limit set to 659. I want to see if we can just get a quick little tag here. Um, don't front run me though. 659s would be good. Oh, watch this just completely die on me. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's rough. That's a rough candle. 650, 28, 659s. We did tap into that order block. I'm not too upset about it. My stop is at 643. Let's see if we can just get above the 659s again, or if this just wants to completely die. But this is the thing about these 15-second scalps, man. They're gonna be super quick. It's gonna be like you're gonna be in and out. It's either gonna stop you or move towards your take profit incredibly quick. So I think I might actually get stopped here at 643. It's looking like it. But I am willing to retry if we can get a tap back into that discount. Let's see if we get a push out of here or if this just wants to stop me out. Nice move here, 659s. Can we get a close back above the 657s? If we can, then I would just look for a push into the 676, and then I'll look to maybe potentially go break even if we can get back above the 675s. Sorry, 675s. Can we get a push here? Can we get a push? Come on. No, I think ES might be dragging us down with it, taking us, taking the boat down with it. Yeah, not looking good, boys. Not looking good. Failure to close back above. the 238 candle on the 30-second chart. Just really, really struggling to get higher here. It's not looking too good, but we'll see. My stop is still intact at the 643s. I want to see if we can just get above back into the 662s because if this rejects here, then I think we'll likely get stopped. Oh, nice. Okay. Nice, beautiful move here. Can we get into the 7, 6, 7, 6s? If we can get into the 6, 7, 6s, then I'll look to go break even really, really quickly because I'm not a big fan of really strong candles like that. I think they throw me off quite a bit. Come on, give us a push. Come on. That was a nice candle there, but no continuation here. Really starting to fail. Really starting to fail. If we can get back above the 74s, then I'll look to go break even. Really, really struggling here. No movement at all towards the upside. Come on. Come on. Give us that nice little push here. I'm taking a look at the 1 minute candle. Yeah, if we start closing below the 854s, this might come back for our stop, but we'll see. We'll leave it. We'll let it be. I'm gonna get rid of this that drawing there because it was making my head hurt a little bit. Can we get a push here? Give us that slight little push. You're in short ES. Good luck, brother. I think it is the weaker out of the two, so it actually makes sense. But yeah, this is not looking too good for me here. So if this plays out to you, best of luck. Yeah, it looks like it's coming for me here. Unfortunate, unfortunate, boys. Unfortunate. But small size, so it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. Excuse my sniffling, by the way. Just going through it. Let's see if this wants to close me out here within the next few seconds. 2, 1. Surprisingly, not yet. That's hilarious. They're torturing me, man. They're torturing me. Nice. I'm not a big fan of this consolidation. If we can just get back into the 70s flat, I'll look to go break even. I'm not a big fan of these consolidations like that. They typically just end up wasting my time and then stopping me, to be honest. 8, 6, 5, 9, yeah. Mm, yeah. Ugly. What time is it? 2:43. Yeah, boys. Not good, not good. No. Let's see if they want to just let her go here soon within the last minute of the 50-minute candle. Yeah, they should stop me out here. Yeah. Okay. Got stopped out there, unfortunately, boys. For a couple points, 19 points there on 3 micros. Good morning, Mr. 5 How long have you been trading? When do you acknowledge to cut it? Oh no, I mean, I don't really cut it. I just let it, obviously, if it hasn't gotten to my break-even point, then I just let it, excuse me, then I just let it do its thing. I'm not looking to cut. But we actually just tapped back into discount there, so let's see if we get somewhat of another reaction potentially, then there's could be something in play here as well. I don't want to marry my bias too much here because I can make the mistake of looking for consistent upside in a very downtrend move. So I just want to kind of, after that first loss, take a bit, see what it wants to do, see if it wants to restructure, um, and then see if it wants to potentially continue higher from any of these lows. An area where I could see some potential reaction from is obviously here, the 599s. Okay, we'll uh we'll see if we can get this closure. We'll see if we can get a nice little closure here back above the 608s after sweeping out the 590s, and then that'll be kind of like my last, that'll be the last pointed defense here. Okay, we'll try this 608.5 in there, see if we can get a nice little push. The 608.5 with the stop at the 584s. And then if I take the second loss, then that'll be it for the PM session. So I want to see if I can get above the 632s so I can move to break even. Can we get a push here? Oh, I'm not a big fan of this, boys. Come on. Can we get a push? 636s. It's really failing. Really, really failing. Come on. Give us a push into the 630s, 634s. This will be a quick move to break even here. I'm gonna go ahead and move to break even here. I don't wanna really see this come back to my entry. So I want to see if we can get a nice little push here above the 630s. If we can, we can. If we don't, we don't. That means it'll just likely fail and come back towards the lows. So I am just break even here at 609 or 608.5, sorry. So 608.5s with my stop, original stop there at 585s. I want to see if we can potentially target the 650s and then close out the 650s as long as it doesn't tag me out break even. So let's see if we can get a nice little push here. No, I'm really struggling. So the reason why I moved to break even so quick on this one is because I understand that there's some bearish order flow here, and as you can see, the highs are being taken and price is seeking lows. So I don't wanna not move quickly when I know I might potentially be going against the grain. So let's see if we get tagged out break even here. So yeah, that's how quick these scalps are, man. That's how quick these scalps are on the 5 second and the 15 second. It might actually stop me break even here. Yeah, that's me break even. So overall, pretty rough. Pretty rough, but that's okay. Let's just give it a second, let it breathe. You heavily focus on order blocks, right? Market makers in the chat, news, bombing. Oh, damn, there's so much going on in here. How long have you been trading? Futures like 3 years. Um, what in the world is this PA? Oh, dude, you might actually still have something here. You might actually still have something here towards the 674s. Nice little reaction out of the 609s. I don't know. I kind of feel like they want to flush this out and go for the lows, to be honest with you boys. It is feeling like that. We'll let them we'll let them do that thing, their thing. C2 is confirmed, so I joined C3. Yeah, fair. Fair, fair, fair. I still think they might want to flush this a little bit more. Okay. Do we wanna even try this? Price is still looking kind of bearish. Do we want to even really try this? You should get 603s. Yeah. No, I'm good. I am good. I am good. Okay, so just staying sidelined for right here, right now. Not really seeing much. Um, was looking for longs, obviously got stopped out here and then break even on the second one, but not really seeing anything that's too interesting to me at the moment. Not unless the 591s, you can get a nice little defense out of the 599s. You could have something there, but apart from that, you do have a C2 confirmed here on the 5 minute chart. You've been failing to take this low at 551s. You've taken out the previous 15-minute low as well. It's 250. So yeah, I just want to see if C2 is confirmed. Yeah, yeah. It still looks like they want to take this a little bit lower. So we'll see. What's ES doing? Yeah, it's going for the lows as well. Gunning for the lows. Wherever ES goes, NQ typically follows. You can see we're still rejecting from the highs. Still rejecting from the highs. So we'll wait until this switches over. Hmm. Okay. 605s. Let's see. If we get a closure above 601, super the previous 15-minute low, super the previous 1 minute low. There's like a mosquito here. Okay. I want to see, do we get, do we want to try this one more time, boys? Do we want to try this one more time? Seems risky. It does seem risky. Some more news. Restart Project Freedom. Restart Project Freedom. Is that what they said? Do we want to try this one more time? Hmm. Nah. Not feeling too confident about it, but we'll leave the drawing on to see if it plays out. I'm not in this. I just want to see if this plays out. Not feeling too incredibly confident. We did get that closure of the 601 though. So you do confirm that there. But for an entry, you'd be looking at 598, which means a little bit lower, just below that opening price. 598.75. This is what that would look like. But yeah, I'm not too strong here on that bias there. 598 would be your entry. Not too big of a fan here. Did a quick scalp down 170. Yep. Wait for 5 minute closure. Yep. So we'll just kind of we'll kind of let this wait. What's my size here? 15.25 or 15.25 stop. I want to see if we can start really moving above here. I do like it though, but you do. Okay. 605s. All right, we'll give some 605 longs a try. This will be my last attempt with the stop at the 582s. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I am in for super light size. I'm going in for a fifth of my actual original size, just because I don't want to risk too much. And I did take a winning trade this morning, and I don't really want to give back profits too much. So let's see if we can actually get back above. I'll go break even at 631. So 631 will actually be my break even point. But I just want to see if we can. Mm, yeah, it's really struggling here, boys. This might be my last trade for today. Again, I'm just in for a quarter of or a fifth of my actual size. I'm super de-risked here. This is taking 2 micros, so I'm only risking about $100 here, maybe a little bit more, $90. So I don't really want to risk much more than I should. Beautiful stuff here. Can we get a push here back above the 631s? Okay, so I am break even here at 605. I don't really like how sporadic this price action is being. Um, my My target is 691. Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of this sporadic price action, so I am going break even here. Nice little push. Let's see if we can just get into the 668s. I'll look to close there. 668 or 670, sorry. 670 is flat. Yeah, I just want to see a bullish reaction out of here. Okay, I'm gonna look to take one off of my position here. So I've secured one. That's half of my position off there at nearly 1R. And then I'll let the other one ride. So 1.28R secured on one contract, and then I'm gonna let the other one ride. The other one is break even, and the other one's target is actually at 28,670. So this will be my last target, and then I'm gonna let this one ride. So I really want to see this get a nice little push. What I will do, guys, is I'm actually not going to close this fully at the 670 level. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look to trail my stop. So this one is already break even. I've already taken off a contract, one contract off at nearly 28 points ish. I want to see if we can get a really nice closure above the 45s because I think if we get the 45s, we go straight into the 17s. And what I want to do is I want to milk out the most out of this move here. So let's see if we can get a nice little push, close above the 28,645.25 level. Once we get that confirmed, if we are able to, again, I don't want to speak in absolutes, but once we do get that confirmed, I think we can get a nice little push into the 692s and the 717s. If this really starts struggling here, then it might just take out my last contract break even. But either way, we've secured a nice little win here for 1.2R. Yeah, 1.3R. So let's see if we can get a nice push. Now I can start zooming out a little bit more, start seeing where things are. I've got this last contract just sitting here with me. Let's see if we can just get a nice impulse here into the 721s, which I do think we will get. Which order block do you use? What time frame? So in this particular case, I used a 1 minute order block and a 15-second entry. What higher time frame do you pair? I do the 1 and the 5 and the 15. Those are the three. So I start on the 15, I drop to the 5, I confirm on the 1. I've got a dealing range up on typically the 1 minute time frame, and then I look at the 5 and the 15 seconds to for just like precision purposes. Anything below the 15-minute chart is purely for precision purposes. Anything above the 15-minute chart and above is for bias purposes. So don't forget that. At least for me. Let's see if this thing wants to start struggling here. I think we'll unfortunately see that last contract get break even. But if this wants to move, I think we can get a nice little push here at 3 p.m. We've got about 45 seconds before the next hourly candle opens. So I really do want to see us close above the 45 level. So give us a really nice little push here. Let me change the color of this so you guys can see where we originally closed the first one and then the other one. So I still got this last contract just riding with us. We'll see if 3 p.m. wants to stop us out. Two things will happen at 3 p.m. Either we go up or we go down. No, I'm just kidding. It either stops me out break even like that, or we get a bit of consolidation and a push higher. I know these candles, man. I know them. I know that when 3 p.m. likes to struggle, give us a nice little consolidation here into the highs. That would be splendid. Let's see if we can get a push here. Okay, keep going. Keep it going. Come on. Can we get a continuous order flow into the highs? I just want to see us press that ask or press that bid. Come on. Anyways, we've secured 1.3. Secured that 1.3R. I want to see if we can get a continuation. It's already taken the previous 5 minute high, which I'm not a big fan of. We're really strongly rejecting, but I think we can see a nice little reaccumulation here below the 5 minute open. 15 minute candle as well. Yeah, boys, when it likes to struggle like this, unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Can we get a push here? Failing to deliver. Really, really failing to deliver. Yeah, this hourly is not looking too clean for us. 30 minute looks good, but the hourly does not. Unfortunate. Seems like we might get stopped out break even on this last contract. Last line of defense here is at 621. If we really start closing above these 621s, then we might just get stop break even on that last contract. Yeah. Ugly looking thing, man. Really, really struggling. Can't catch a bid. I'd hate to see this stop me break even my last contract and then run. That would be crazy. But we'll see. 622s. Seems like we're kind of defending the 621s, which I do like to see. Just need to keep that up. If not, the pressure is on and this thing might break below the 620s. She might break. Yeah. Nope. No pressure. No pressure to the upside here. It's all to the downside. Let's see. Come on. Give us, as long as we stay above the 620s, 630. What are we at? 630, 633, 634s. Come on. Keep that up. Is it a yes? Is it ES's fault? Let's blame it on something other than it might be ES's fault. It's always ES's fault. Take a loss, just blame it on ES. Always. Last few seconds here of the 5 minute candle. Yeah, this next one might not look too pretty for us. Let's see. Four, three, two, one. Next opening candle. Can we get a move on? Let's get us out of here, boys. Get us out of here. Can you blend the 15 seconds with the 50 minute? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you mind staying a little while to chat about educational topics? Yeah. What time frame do you pair? Already answered that. Long above 6:38. Can you blend, or would you blend the 15 seconds with another time frame? I typically like the 15 with the 5. That's what I like. Oh, God. I like the 15 with the 5. By the way, guys, if you are watching on X and Twitter, I appreciate the support, but head over to youtube.com/ at thelab.live. I can't see your comments on X or Twitter. So head over to youtube.com/ at the lab live. Make sure to like, subscribe, use code lab at all of your favorite firms to get that 40% off Tradeify, 40% off TPT. What else we got? 90% off Apex. It's a big one. And you guys, I think, still have the $69 activation fee for the 50Ks. So make sure to use code lab for all the discounts at your favorite futures firms. Be right back. Gonna prepare a shake. Won't take more than 5 minutes. Candles really rejecting here to the upside. We're struggling. This might not be looking good for us here. Um, but that's okay. But that's okay. My break even is set to 605.25, just one tick above my original entry. And if I get stop break even, it happens. That'll be the last try here for today. I want to see if we can get a move on by 310. I think if we can get a nice little move on by 310, that'll give us a nice little beautiful, beautiful bit of action to the upside. But I really want to see that happen at around 310. 310 would be the next 5 minute candle. 315 means the next 15-minute candle. So I'm just kind of watching how we roll, you know? I know there's a lot of things going on in my chart and I do apologize. There's a lot of things going on. Secured that 1.3 R there. See if we can get this last one. No budge, no budge. 308. We got the last minute here of this 5 minute candle. Let's see if we get a budge. How are you guys doing though? How's everybody? Let me. Okay, we back. Dude, that was so fast. You prepared a shake in that much time? That was so fast. Am I tripping? That was so fast. Did you even wash the blender? By the way, we will be live tomorrow again, 2:45 a.m. Eastern for London Open and 8 a.m. for the New York Open. Are you guys liking these PM sessions? I had it all in the blender together in the fridge for 30 minutes ago. Oh, smart man. This guy was quick. If you're liking the PM sessions, make sure to drop a like. Do those little heart thingies that YouTube allows. Thank you. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Only blended, need to clean it. Yeah. Let's see what 310 has in store for us. Really, really struggling to get some upside here, which is unfortunate because it just seems like we're kind of grinding down. I really wanted to see a pop higher at 3 o'clock, but we're not getting that, and it's really failing to get above the 242s or the 642s. If we can get back to the 642s, you can definitely see something nice there. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Give me the 642s or at least 653s. And as you can guys see here, like my risk was pretty small, 22.5 points here on the original entry. Pretty small risk. We've been in this trade for some time now, actually. Um, on this last contract, but you can see that it's still clearly very well grinding down, which is not a very good sign, but all good. We are break even here. No support. You guys have any questions in the meantime? When are you not streaming in the morning? When you are not streaming in the morning, do you trade alone or alongside a community? I trade alone, or we trade alone. We do have a community, but it's not like we're not selling a membership or, and it is closed off. But we do have the platform Discord. If you guys want to join the platform Discord, we do chat in there. I can also drop a link to that with you guys so you guys can join the platform Discord. Glad you bring it. Why is the lab closed? For new members, just because we didn't really want to I don't know. No, we didn't want to run the Discord anymore. So it's just it's not we're not as active in there. Beautiful stuff here. I am now trailed. So I'm trailed to 2R at 650. So if this comes back against us, I could just get stopped out at 2R and then it can do whatever it wants. But we've secured 45 points, boys. If this comes against us, we secure 45 points at 2R. Beautiful and wonderful play. Um, yeah, yeah, just not much else to say. I want to see if you can get a nice little push into the 28,670s. But this was an absolute banger of a trade, boys. We've secured 2R with that last contract. Secured that 2R with that last contract at 650s, point 0.2 or point 0.5. So I want to see if we can get a nice little push here to the highs, or if this just wants to stop us at 2R. Either way, I'm fine with whatever. I've secured the 45 points. Either we get stopped for 45 points or it continues higher. There is no worst case scenario here for me in this particular trade. Still have just like 2 ticks from my stop there for my trail. Might get stopped out here actually. And that's me. Boys, beautiful, just an absolute pleasure of a session. Secured that 2R on that last contract. 45 points on AQ. Beautiful stuff. Small risk. Um, Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful. Took us a little bit, took us a while. I was a little hesitant here with this consolidation, but overall, just an absolute beauty of a trade there. Yeah, GG's indeed. That was a wonderful trade. Okay, any questions? Do you guys want me to walk you through this trade once more? Yes. Okay. So this was based, what's up, Slim Trader? Where does your current trading approach come from? It's a mixture of things. The 15-second time frames, I'm like, I like to think that I'm the only person that has spent that much time on that time frame. Obviously, there are others that exist. I don't know of them. I don't know, maybe somewhere, but the 5 and the 15, I don't think anybody else uses OBs the way that I use OBs on those lower time frames. Yeah, dude, we just caught a really nice little banger here. Closed out one contract 1.3R, and then the second one we just trailed to 2R at 650s. So on the 15-second chart, actually. Anyways, let me walk you guys through this. So first and foremost, let's start on a 15-minute chart. First and foremost, um, we have our established range. I come from TTFM, I have tried AM, but not really for me. We come from an existing range. Where is our existing range? Well, secondly, let me start on here first. This is exactly what we outlined, right? So the hourly chart already has the swing. The hourly chart has a swing, which means I'm likely looking for higher, and the first highest point would be the 787s. That doesn't mean I'm looking to trade up until there. It just means that we have an hourly swing, um, and so I can drop down to a lower time frame to confirm other stuff. On the 15-minute chart or the 5-minute chart, we had already outlined the potential order block, which is this one here, which you had a closure above its opening price. So there was a semi-confirmation, which means that this is our newly established range from this low to that high. So whenever there's a swing, you always want to look for the newly created, whenever there's a swing, you always want to look for the newly created range. And that newly created range will typically happen after an OB is confirmed. So 1:25 p.m. gave us our order block because it's the candle that pierced the hourly internal and the previous hourly low. We closed above this candle's opening price, which gave us a premature confirmation, which means that we now have a new range from that low, sorry, from this low to that high, which means that I now have a premium and I have a discount. If I head over to a 15-second chart, I'm going to look to enter off of a discounted price point, which means that anything below the 636s is going to be considered a discounted price point. But what do I need to see first? I obviously need to see us respect the discounted price point. So this is a little trick that I do whenever I'm considering where I want to see a reaction from at a discounted price point. And this is the same exact logic that I apply to the higher time frame. Whenever I have a newly created range and I'm on the 15-second chart, what I like to look at is I like to look at, and for those of you that are familiar with the TLM model, I like to look at the first low created at a discounted price point. So you have that low there, or not the first low, the most obvious lows created at a discounted price point. So if the upper red is our premium and the bottom green is our discount, and I tell you, hey, can you outline the first obvious low at a discounted price point, you're going to tell me one of two answers. It's going to be either 625 or 605. Now, what I like to do to give that extra confirmation is that I like to treat the same way I confirm the 5 minute order block is the same way I'm going to confirm this 15-second order block, which means that if I extend out this price and time and I ask you, hey, or even this is actually the one that caused the reaction, and I ask you, hey, were there a group of candles or a particular candle that actually gave you a that pierced these particular price points? And the one that pierced both of them is actually the 1445.15 candle. And again, I'm using the same logic, which means that what? I need to see a closure above that candle's high. And you might be saying, oh, but Alex, we saw it came down below, da 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 da. That's actually not the OB because it's not the last one. Right. Sure. But in my case and in my logic, I'm outlining the single candlestick that pierced both of these price points at a discount. Now think about the context for a second. I am outlining the single candlestick that swept the 15-second lows at a discounted price point after confirming a 5 minute order block. You guys see where the logic is here? Let me write this out for you actually. I am confirming a 15-second OB after I'm confirming a 15-second OB that swept the first lows at a discounted price point after confirming a 5 minute OB within an hourly swing. Does that make sense? So this is kind of where you want to build the most context, right? I am confirming a 15-second OB that swept the first lows at a discounted price point after confirming a 5 minute OB. I'm using the logic twice and in a fractal manner. That same logic that I'm using on a 5 minute discount or a 5 minute OB is the same logic that I'm using on a 15-second OB, which means that what? I need to see the candle that pierced both of these liquidity points closed above. And that candle is this candle that I have highlighted in gray. So what did we do? What did we do? We got the closure above. I didn't look to take an entry there yet. I was a little hesitant, but as soon as I saw that we got back closed above, uh, we entered back on that 605. On that 605 level with our stop below that low. And then obviously you guys saw the rest like 1.28 scale. And then we eventually ended up just closing out for 2R. And even so, if I extend this order block, if I extend this order block out, you guys can see that it's still producing reactions. So I want to see if we can actually manage to, you guys see where it stopped? It's that order block at 609.25. So it wouldn't even be that horrible to even consider potentially a second entry as long as you get a good CISD reaction out of here on a 15-second chart. But you can see that. Will you split screen with the 5 minute and show what you're explaining on the 15-second? Yeah, absolutely. I got you. Um, 1 sec. PO3, PO3, 5 minute. Okay. So I'm trying to like figure out how to on this 5 minute chart. Is this ES or NQ? The thing is, like, if I zoom out this much on a 15-second chart, like, you won't be able to really see it. But on this 5-minute chart on NQ, there is one candle that was responsible for sweeping out the internal and the previous hourly low. And it's this one here. The 125. So as soon as you get a closure above this candle's high or the opening price, which is the premature, then you confirm some upside. And again, you have an hourly swing as well. It all starts from the top. Let's take it from the top. On the hourly, what do we have? On the hourly, what we're looking for is a swing within an internal level because we always want to be using that logic, internal to external. On the 5-minute, I want to confirm a 5-minute order block. As soon as I have a 5-minute order block confirmed, which is the candle that pierced both liquidity points, I want to grab the newly existing range. Once again, it's premature because it didn't close above the wick. Correct. If it did close above the wick, it would be an actual confirmation. But this is premature because of the fact that we only closed above the opening price, not above the wick. So let me walk you guys through this step. First step is to analyze the higher time frame, which in this case is the hourly. Then the mid time frame is your 5-minute, which is where you confirm the order block, which is hourly. So you're looking for swings plus internal or external. And then on the 15-second, grab the newly created range after the 5-minute OB is confirmed, then plot premium and discount. Sorry, I'm trying to write this quickly. So analyze the higher time frame. You have your hourly, right? Swings plus internal or external. So that's internal or, you have a fair value gap on the hourly. You have a swing out on the hourly confirmed. On the mid time frame, you're looking for a 5-minute, which is where you're going to confirm your order block, which is the candle that pierced the highs or the lows. And then you confirm that with a closure above or below the candle if it's a bullish or a bearish candle. Your third step is to go to the 15-second chart and grab the newly created range after the order block is confirmed, which means that in this case, if I tell you, hey, on this chart, where is the strongest or most obvious high and the most obvious low? You're going to tell me that it's this one here and that one there at 721. After you grab this range, you're going to want to ask yourself, let me actually, because I got rid of the text. After you grab that range, you're going to want to ask yourself, hey, if I'm looking for longs, that means I need to see a reaction from the lows. So that means that I need to grab, so that means I need to look for the first low at a discount for longs. And then obviously for shorts, it's the first high at a premium. But in this case, we're going to look for the first low at a discount for longs. So we have a low here. We didn't get the reaction we wanted. We had a low here. We did get the reaction we wanted, and we closed above the order block. So step number 5 is to confirm a 15-second order block after it sweeps the low at a discount. And that's it. As soon as you confirm the 15-second order block, you're good to enter. So you can see here that even though despite, being a little bit messy, that order block is still in play because it's the one that swept out both the 605, the 588 levels, and it is also at a discounted price point after we confirmed the 5-minute OB. So your higher time frame is an hourly, your mid time frame is a 5-minute, and your lower time frame is a 15-second. Exactly. This would be a double sweep at a discounted price point. Yeah. So now you have your OB. You're starting to get a bullish reaction out of here. And I wouldn't be too opposed to potentially another long. But again, I'm done for today because I took those 3 trades, so I'm good. I'm good. I'm good here. But I am curious to see if we actually get a nice little reaction out of this OB. Longing the first OB is a valid one, just in case it sweeps it. What do you? Longing the first OB is a valid one, just in this case it swept. It swept it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that made sense. I know it was a lot of jibber jabbering, but I do still think you get a nice little reaction out of this bullish order block here. And obviously, in an ideal scenario, you start to get above the 629s, 663s, etc. 100% sense. Nice. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful reaction here from this order block, the same order block that we used on our entry here. But yeah, team, great stuff. I'm glad I'm showing you guys. Do you mind sharing what indicators? I don't use a lot of indicators. The one I do use is the PO3 by 2 degrees, which just shows the higher time from candles. Only really use this one when I'm scalping. That OB is giving us a beautiful reaction here as well. Beautiful read for this PM session, guys. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, I'm glad I'm showing you guys the power of the 15 and the 5 second charts. I'm glad I can show you guys because it really is nice stuff. I do love it actually. These are my favorite time frames. And the reason why I like them as well is because um oh no, I appreciate it, Fernando. No, I appreciate it. You've been super consistent with the questions, man. I appreciate it. Gold star. Thank you for stopping by. Anyways, guys, there's not much more for me to talk about here. I think I'm gonna call it here. We caught a really nice trade, caught a loss as well, but overall, just a beautiful PM session here. Um, and yeah, we'll see what else tomorrow has to bring. I'm close to a payout, so hopefully we'll be able to get it either tomorrow or Monday. Anyways, I appreciate you all. Make sure to use code LAB for your favorite firms. Get 40% off. If you guys want a great essay about consistency, but yeah, thanks. I will go back and review this. At what points do you look for invalidation in that trade? It's pretty much just the low of the OB. That is my invalidation. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Code LAB for all your favorite futures firms. 40% off Tradeify, 40% off Take Profit, and 40% off Lucid. So make sure to grab those accounts. And any questions, let me know. I can send you guys an invite over to the Prop Firm Compare Discord as well if you guys need. Uh, go. There you go. Prop Firm Compare Discord. There, if you guys have any more questions, you can tag me. You can tag any of the team members. This should be a beautiful play here after this OB as well. So appreciate all of you. Another dub, another live stream, another dub. Just a beautiful day. Tomorrow I will see you guys in the morning. Yeah. Thank you all. I love you all very much. Peace.